Hello, welcome to the Counseling Center. My name is Candace Lodre, and your name?
Jason Anderson.
Jason Anderson, welcome. Thank you for coming. I noticed on the call sheet that there was going to be someone else here, and it looks like you're here alone. Did you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, my wife was supposed to be here with me today.
Okay.
As you can see, she hasn't made an appearance here.
Okay.
I think we've been going through some things as of late, and so this is where we're at now.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I want to commend you for following through with coming into the session. That can be extremely difficult. Counseling is not really as far as looked upon as something that is the thing to do. So it's very commendable for you to come in and continue on with the session. So thank you for coming in again. So why don't we go and dig a little deeper into why you're actually here?
Well, I think as of right now, we're living separate lives.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe considering even separation. I think we're on the brink of that.
Okay.
I know we've made type of discussions
Mm-hmm.
that may lead to there. So.
Mm-hmm.
But,
what led to this separation talk exactly?
Just a number of things. When we were living in Chicago
Okay.
a couple of years ago, and I got offered a job. So we decided to go ahead and move to New York where the job offer was at.
Okay.
Initially, everything was going pretty well. Just adapting to the environment. We're happy that we were here and all this blase stuff. And now it's more along the lines of we have a new baby, and
Congratulations.
thank you. And other things are coming into play, and I think it's just a whirlwind, to say the least.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, you guys went through two huge life transitions in your life. You had a huge move from Chicago to New York, and then you had a brand new baby. And in the midst of that, for anyone, pretty much, it could be very difficult to take on those two things. And of course, it can make things occur that can make life a little bit more stressful. But once again, I commend you on coming in and talking about that. So why don't we get into a little bit more specifics as far as once you did move and had the baby, what did you see change as far as in your relationship with your wife?
I don't know. I think that we as a whole did make the transition from me and her to me, her, and a child.
Okay.
I think we wanted a child badly, and that once we got the child, it was like, I felt like most of our attention was going towards the child and not towards me.
And which is normal. That happens in relationships or marriages. When a new person enters into the picture, both parties have to learn how to divide that attention. So, and I see as far as from what you have stated that it seemed like you were getting a lack of the attention and your child was getting most of the attention. So how did that make you feel?
Initially it was like, okay, I understand why, she's the mother of the child, I'm happy, she's happy, that's how it is. And after that, though, it started becoming like, okay, this is getting kind of, serious because I just felt like I was being neglected,
Okay.
and she, I don't know if I properly expressed it to her, that I was feeling neglected. Maybe I did. Maybe I could have did that better. I don't know, but it just didn't go well from there. And I don't know how we can get back, to at least. Well, even I don't know how we can get back with more if we can even bring it up.
Okay.
Because can that topic even be addressed? So I don't know.
And so you were stating that you don't know if you properly basically told her how you feel. When you state that, does that mean that you never told her how you feel about her paying more attention to your child? Or does that mean as far as that you did it in a certain way, and if you have, how did you do it?
I don't think I don't know. I wouldn't say that I never expressed it.
Mm-hmm.
I probably, if I did express it, I expressed it during another argument.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, it was kind of like a tick for tack type of deal, or, you know, brought up in a certain way that was kind of, you know, lashing out instead of really saying, this is how I feel. You know, it wasn't in conversation, it was in argument.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, it sounds like that you guys been having a lot of arguments consisting this topic. And so how has that changed as far as from before the baby? Would you say that your arguments weren't as frequent or wasn't as intense, or what do you see differently now?
I don't know. I think the difference is that we've probably been having a little more arguments now that the baby is there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe the stress of having another person to take care of and possibly at the same time feeling neglected. I think I've been on a little edge. I don't know about her, but you know, I definitely know it takes two to tango. So I assume that maybe she's been on a little edge too, or she's been stressed with bogged down being a new mother and stuff like that. So you know, all those things I think have went into play.
And that's good that you actually are acknowledging some of the things that she may be experiencing too, and not just yourself, by stating that she may be going through things with being a new mother and so forth, which shows as far as that you are in some ways thinking about the things that she may be experiencing as well, and not only yourself. So that's a great thing. And let's go into more as far as what do you think as far as how can I phrase this? How would you state that your relationship was before the baby came? And before the move? Like, what were the things that you guys did? Like, paint a picture as far as how your relationship was.
Well, I think we had arguments. They just weren't as many. We definitely had more time to spend with each other.
So more time to spend with each other. Okay.
We would have date nights and things like that, and go out and have fun, and you know, spend time with friends, other couples, and things like that.
Okay.
And we just, I think, as of late, just haven't done those things, and it could be because we don't have any friends in New York. You know. You know. So I don't know, but I just know that we haven't been able to do the same things that we were doing in the past, and I think that has toned down our relationship.
So, from what I'm hearing, you guys had date nights, you spent time with friends, and therefore now being in New York, you weren't able to do those same things now. Have you guys attempted to try to go out and meet new people, or has it been hard or challenging considering that the new baby is here?
I think it's been very challenging considering the new baby's here. We've tried to do some things with my coworkers and stuff like that, a couple of coworkers. That hasn't really gone well. We haven't really found the people that we've kind of like clicked with. You know, so it's been very, I think, difficult, especially with the new baby, to really find someone that was like, oh, you know, let's go out and kick it, and we have similar things in mind.
So what about just you two alone outside of a couple? Or having couples nights, you know, with other couples, but just you two, just having date night?
Well, with her being pregnant, it was kind of, you know, she was kind of tired.
Of course.
To go out a few times, and then like after the baby was born, it was, you know, well, who's gonna watch the baby? We don't have a babysitter, you know, we don't know anybody that can watch the baby, you know, so a lot of different things kind of like prevented us from actually, you know, going out. And I think we may have been out one time since the baby's been born, or
one time.
One time since the baby's been born.
And it's like, as far as paint a picture for me, how that was that night. You guys got dressed,
we got dressed, we got out the house.
Go out to dinner, or
we went out to dinner.
We
went to dinner, like a little dinner in the movie.
Okay.
It was good. I think, you know, it was still kind of felt like she was someplace else. It wasn't there with me, so I don't know. I don't know what that was about.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being as far as it was the worst date night that you ever had in your marriage, and it was completely horrible, and you never tried again, to 10 being this was the amazing date night, probably better than before the baby was born, and I can't wait till the next night. What would you say that?
I would say it's about a 4 or 5.
A 4 or 5, and what makes it a 4 or 5?
Because I know we've had better nights than that.
And what made it a better night than that?
It felt like, we were caught up in the moment instead of maybe worrying about the things that are around us. It felt like we were just like, oh, hey, we're having a great time. Hey. And when we went out before, just the babies were born, it's been like, oh, are you sure we're gonna be home on time? Or did I forget to, give the 911 number, emergency information, all that stuff, And so it was like, it just felt like blah blah, But,
okay, so as far as from what I'm hearing, it says what made it a 4 or 5 is that you guys' mind was somewhere else.
Yeah.
You weren't in the moment, making a connection with each other,
right,
and enjoying the time that you had to spend with each other. Instead, you both were thinking of other things outside of actually the date that you were on. And so what will make it a 5, or what will make it a 6 if you had the opportunity to do it again?
If you had the opportunity to do it again, make it a 6. Possibly, I don't know, just being more attentive to one another.
Okay. In what way?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Probably, I don't know. We didn't really have a lot of sharing, and living in that moment situation. So if we were able to share more and actually communicate to one another, it seemed like there were a lot more, like, I want to say dead spaces where there's no communication.
Okay.
While we were there. And in the past, it hasn't been the case. We've always been able to share with each other and stuff like that. So I kind of felt like, honestly, there was an elephant in the room.
Okay.
I don't know what the elephant was. You have to talk to my wife about what the elephant is.
Okay.
I have some inclinations of what it could be, but, I don't know.
And what
Well,
do you think it may be?
Well, since this whole, the Sandy thing happened, and we've been out of our home and stuff like that, and even a little time before then, I think she feels like because she's not able to spend time, with our family, my family and her family, because we're in a new place and stuff, that she kind of feels like I've torn her away from her family.
Okay.
I feel like she's blaming me, or I don't know if that's the way it's going. That's just my inclination, that I feel like she's blaming me for what has happened.
And so that I get a clear understanding, so you did touch on the Sandy thing, which of course it was devastating to those that were in New York. Yeah. And again, I commend you again for coming in and just even talking about that. With that being said, just so I get a clear understanding, so was the date night before the Sandy event or after?
It was before the Sandy event. So
okay.
I think it is obviously worsened. That's what I said. I think it's been a gradual increase from, before the Sandy, that actually with the baby, that she wasn't, Skype wasn't enough for her to spend time with her family, and she really wanted to be with her family, and, and she hasn't been able to do that.
So since we touched on the Sandy event, and you stated that you guys are out of your home, are you currently out of your home now? Since it's been a few weeks since it.
No, we've actually went back, but it's not the way it was.
Okay.
I think we got affected fairly rough by looters and stuff like that, taking some things out of our home.
Okay.
So we've had to deal with that, and that's been kind of tough. Yeah.
In the midst of that, when Sandy was occurring, did you guys go back home to Chicago until it was over, or did you guys stay in New York? Or?
Actually, it was, well, we had to actually stay in New York still.
Oh, okay.
Because we actually couldn't afford to go back to Chicago. We didn't.
I see.
And I didn't want to leave our home and just leave it there. I wanted to make sure that, when it was time that we could go back and get everything straight and see what we had to assess the damage and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, you guys did stay in New York, and I'm assuming that, did you stay with, you stated that you didn't have many family and friends, so was it at a shelter, or?
Actually, my job had a place for everyone to stay,
that's
so we
great.
went to a hotel that they had for us to go to.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you didn't really have to worry about as far as shelter due to your job had taken care of it, but of course with the worry of if somebody is looting a home or if you get completely destroyed by the storm, that must have had a huge impact on both of you guys. Yeah, and especially with the baby as well. Right.
So it was a lot, and as I'm listening, thinking right now, maybe we should have just went back to Chicago during that time, but I thought that it would have been best for us to stay.
Now, since you touched on that, since you've been here in New York, how long has it been since you guys visit Chicago?
Well, we went. I think we went back once. And that was like for the holidays.
Okay.
We went back. And the next time around, since we moved from Chicago like 2010, we couldn't go the next year because she had just had the baby. So it was kind of like we didn't want to travel, and stuff like that. So we were trying to wait. So it's been like at least a year and a half since we've actually been there, and
Okay, and how was that when you guys went to visit?
Oh, it was great. Chicago. Chicago. We love it. Born and raised. So that was fun, but.
And you guys got to visit family, or did you do?
I got to visit family, eat, and have a great time,
And how long did you stay?
We came and maybe we were there for about maybe a week.
A week? Wow, that's a pretty long time.
Yeah.
So.
For around that, that Christmas time area, we actually came like a few days before Christmas, then left the day after Christmas.
Okay, and this was before the baby, so it was just you two.
Right.
And how would you describe how your wife was feeling at the time? Like, how was her interactions with you and everything?
I think at the time I thought it was going well. There were minor things that we had to do to adjust to moving to New York, but there wasn't anything like major going on at that time. We had our normal arguments, but nothing serious that wasn't out of the normal.
Okay.
So.
But she was interactive with you.
Yeah,
she was happy most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. At least from my perspective, She could have been holding some stuff in. I don't know, but from what I could tell, it was the same.
It was the same.
Yeah, as it was before when we were in Chicago. Yeah.
And so, just touching on considering. Once again, even though it may not seem a really big deal as far as you coming in by yourself, was it as far as at the last minute she decided not to come, or were you guys supposed to meet here? And
we were actually supposed to come together, and she couldn't. She didn't want to come, and it really was just I think that. She feels like that we need time apart.
Okay.
And I think she's ready for that, and she doesn't feel like this is going to really help us out. While I feel that it will help us out, and it's just a matter of convincing her.
So how do you think that she feels that you came without her?
I don't know. I will find out when I get back home.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
Do you have
she
any
was-
inkling as far as?
she was pretty mad when I left. So
Okay.
I told her I was gonna come because I made an appointment.
Mhm.
I wanted to keep the appointment. I thought it was very important for me to do that. I didn't want to waste your time.
Okay.
I told her I was gonna come, and hopefully I can go back with a good report and say, this was a good thing, and it's probably better if we do it together.
Okay.
And maybe, get a better understanding of where she is. So I don't know.
Okay. So let's touch on because there's a lot of things to cover as far as I know we touched a little bit on the baby and we kind of moved off from that. How would you state as far as your relationship with your child? Do you have a girl or a boy?
It's a boy.
It's a boy. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Is he carrying on a legacy?
Yes, he is.
All right.
Yes,
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. So we got a Jason Anderson
the second. Yeah.
Great. And so, how is your interactions with your son?
Well, I love my son. We have, I'm not as probably important at this time as his mom is because she does so much for him as far as feeding and things like that. So, but otherwise, I think I've had a good time, being his father and stuff like that.
Okay, so, and he's pretty young, so he obviously can't really give any input on or show any as far as if he's noticed anything going on in the household. But you stated that your interaction with him is great, so which is good. And as far as have you noticed that your interaction with him has been affected at all due to your relationship with your wife? It has been on turmoil a little bit.
I don't know. I would say I don't think it has, but I guess I can say I would be surprised if it was affected, but I wouldn't say it probably has,
Okay.
And if not, I don't think it's consciously, but probably more subconsciously than anything. But I think I still have a good relationship with him. I just feel that it possibly would be better if we weren't dealing with the things we were dealing with,
Well, considering that our time is winding down, I do want to leave you with some things. From what I'm hearing, or from what I've heard, I should say, obviously you are very passionate about your marriage, and you are doing whatever is necessary to try to keep it together. Due to there has been separation talks, you are looking at other avenues to try to prevent that from happening, which is commendable. I would, as far as suggest, considering that one of the things that you've stated that you guys were able to do previously before the baby, that seemed like it was a good time, was to have date night. And you guys did it again after the baby, but there was a little awkwardness there for whatever reason. I would suggest to maybe try it again, try a different venue. As far as whatever you did before, maybe if it was just a dinner and a movie, that you guys try to do something that's more interactive. Like considering that we're bringing on this winter time, do ice skating or something that would, as far as help you guys interact with each other. And then also to engage as far as in conversation about things that make you guys happy, things that you guys have in common, not necessarily stressing on the things that are keeping you guys apart, which is as far as talking about, why you guys are separated, the elephant in the room that you were stating.
Right.
And why you guys can actually just talk about the things that make you happy, which could be your son, which could be as far as the good times that you had in Chicago, and maybe even the reasons why you guys love each other and why you want to make it work. And that can maybe bring you guys to, as far as another level in your communication than it has been before. So I look forward to seeing, you again, as well as hopefully your wife. I encourage you to encourage her as well to definitely come in and seek services. And we also have resources as far as in addition, if need so be, if there was anything that is needed within the household or so forth, considering that you were affected by Sandy. So we have those in the front desk if you need so. And I thank you for coming in. And we'll schedule another appointment.
All right.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.